Hey all, welcome back to the channel and welcome to Monday. That means of course it's countdown day. And this was a wild topic, a wild countdown. This is going to be the top 10 Transformers crossovers, Transformers collaboratives that are still things that people would like to see done, right? We've had a few of them so far, right? We've had Ectotron and we've had Gigawatt, and if you go back, we've done a lot of Marvel stuff, and we've done a lot of Star Wars stuff over the years. But what are some franchises that fans would love to see a crossover with Transformers, but have not yet been done? Well, the voting was fast, the voting was very furious this time around, and that's going to be our topic in the latest GotBot Counts Down. Hey all, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, man, please like, comment, share, of course, subscribe, and while you're at it, my baby, hit that notification bell, please. It helps me out a ton. It lets you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, the Everything Factor, all the groups that I'm either a mod or an admin for, as well as all of my social media links. All of that in the description down below. Also in the description down below. And if you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon. See what we have to offer to you through spring, or of course you can hit the join button right here on YouTube and become a channel member. And this is the top 10 Transformers collaboratives that fans would still like to see done. And we actually have two ties in the main list itself. But let's get the two honorable mentions out of the way first. These ones came very close to being on the list. They didn't quite make it, but very, very close. And when I say these two honorable mentions, I think you're going to probably think to yourself, wow, if those are the honorable mentions, then what actually made the list? One of them is Dom's Charger from the Fast and the Furious. I'm not going to lie, I saw the first Fast and the Furious movie many years ago. I saw it once, and then I saw Tokyo Drift, and I was like, that's not very good, and I have not seen one since. I don't know Dom's Charger. A lot of fans do. I don't really know the franchise. Don't care to know the franchise. But I know that that was popular enough to get an honorable mention. The other one is the Tron Light Cycle, which fans have been clamoring for years and years and years. But neither of those actually made the list. Popular choices didn't make the list. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to kick things off with a tie at number 10 first. And indeed, kicking things off at number 10 are two franchises that honestly I really don't know anything about. But number 10 is a tie of these two. Yeah, that's right. So the first one is the Halo light reconnaissance off-road warthog vehicle. I literally have not seen 1 minute of Halo in my life. I know that the dude is called Master Chief. I read one of the books. I know nothing about the games. I don't like first-person shooters, so it's not for me. But I did go and look up the warthog, and as soon as I saw it, I thought to myself, you know, I don't exactly know what mold could be used for. I feel like it would have to be some sort of a new mold, but there's a part of me that's sort of like, I feel like there's a swindle maybe that exists somewhere that could be used for this or something, you know? I'm sure people have ideas. It could definitely, I believe, be done. As a matter of fact, not only do I think it could be done, but I think it could be done and probably like along the same sort of design route as the G.I. Joe crossovers have had, right? So I feel like it could sort of follow that. What mold? I don't know. But then we get to Battlestar Galactica and the Viper. Again, I've never seen an episode. I literally know zero, nothing, not a character. I know nothing about it. So I had to look up the Viper, and I was like, so a Siege Tetrajet. That's, come on, it's a Siege Tetrajet, right? Easiest mold to use for it, repainted, boom, you got it, no problem. Both very viable candidates, both very popular candidates, and both tied for the number 10 slot. Number 9 is another tie between two very well-known, very popular franchises, and it's these two. That's right, it is Mask, and specifically Thunderhawk, though there were votes for other Mask vehicles like Rhino, for example, right? Thunderhawk, I get it. I feel like some sort of a version of Road Rage, maybe, could be done as Thunderhawk. You know, I like some sort of an alteration. I get it, but I'm thinking red, I'm thinking sports car. I feel like some sort of an alteration of that could kind of be used somehow. You'd have to do a bit of extra work and whatnot, but I think it's in there somewhere. You know, kind of tracks-ish with a lot of remolding. You know, I'm not saying use like the Kingdom Tracks mold or something, but I think it could be a good basis to kind of start to do something for Thunderhawk. And then the tie with it, of course, is the Mach 5 from Speed Racer. Yeah, okay, I get it. I honestly feel like some version of the 86 Studio Series Blur, maybe the Velocitron Blur could be used and altered some way to kind of give us the Mach 5. You know, that's where my mind goes. Again, it's nice to sort of speculate and consider what could be used for these things. Both popular vehicles, well-known, iconic vehicles, great franchises, and they took the number 9 slot. Number 8 is another franchise and another vehicle that fans have clamored for so long, and the best way to introduce this is to simply say yee-haw. Yeah, baby, it's the General Lee, of course, from the Dukes of Hazzard. There were votes for Boss Hogg's Caddy. There were votes for Roscoe P. Coltrane's police vehicle, or maybe it's Enos's or police vehicle, or what was the other guy's name? Enos and Dipstick, right? It's been a long time since I've seen the Duke boys. You just love them though. But again, the General Lee is one of those classic vehicles that fans for years have said, why do we not have a Transformer version of this? Now, some people nowadays would say that maybe it's not the best one to go with because of the flag on the top. And I mean, we all know that there's a political debate about all of that nonsense. But the car itself, we all know it. A lot of us grew up with it in the 80s. You know, that long orange 01. I mean, it's such an iconic vehicle, such an iconic look, and a lot of fans would love to see it as a Transformers character. Feel like he'd be a cowboy. Anyway, you cut it. The General Lee took the number 8 slot. And at number 7, we go very far from some good old country boys all the way to outer space with this. Yeah, baby, it is the Enterprise, of course, from Star Trek. Now, the Defiant had a couple of votes. Different versions of the Enterprise had some votes, like, you know, 1701A and B. A couple of people voted for Voyager to be done. One person voted for Discovery to be done. I get it, but by far, the Enterprise D from Next Generation is the one that really took the most votes. But yeah, I get it. There are a number of Star Trek ships that would function possibly well as Transformers. A lot of the Star Wars stuff has been done. It'd be nice to see some of the Star Trek stuff done. I feel like, though, for something like an Enterprise, you'd have to, I don't know, like, I feel like it'd have to be maybe like a Commander class, like something substantial, something big, you know? I don't know what mold you could use for it. Do something with Jetfire? Do something with Skylings? I don't know, but I know enough fans would like to see an Enterprise Transformer that he was able to take the number 7 slot. Number 6 takes us to a well-known vehicle used by 4 green dudes with attitudes. Of course, I'm talking about the Turtle Van / Party Wagon. I kind of put them all together. Some people call it the Turtle Van, and in some, you know, iterations it's called the Turtle Van. In some iterations it's called the Party Wagon. In some iterations they're 2 different vehicles, but I kind of put them together here. I think most people know what we're talking about. There has been I'm going to say like a printable version, but nothing certainly official, nothing that's a collaborative. Now, there were also some votes for the Turtles themselves to be Transformers. I think that there was a third-party company that actually did the Turtles as Transformers. I mean, I guess you could. I don't see anything wrong with that. But when I tend to think of collaboratives, I tend to think of vehicles that would turn into something else. But you know what? We had Jurassic Park with Rexy from the Kingdom Megatron. Why not have actual turtles, you know? I guess it could be the case. And there were, like I said, there were votes for it, but they didn't come close. Didn't come close to the Party Wagon. I think it'd be neat to see. What I'd be interested to know is, what would you call a Party Wagon that turns into a Transformer? The naming, man. The naming. That's what would get me. Anyway you cut it, the Party Wagon or the Turtle Van, whatever you prefer, took the number 6 slot. Oh, I could smell it. we're at the most coveted of locations. Once again, we are at the halfway mark. And at the halfway mark this time, well, does anybody fancy a Scooby snack? That's right, it's the Mystery Machine from Scooby-Doo. Interesting choice. I'm surprised it got the traction that it got. I never would have thought of the Mystery Machine. But you know what? From a franchise that crossed over in their own cartoon series with Batman and Robin, crossed over with Don Knotts, right? I mean, they had a lot of guests on Scooby-Doo over the years. They've crossed over with the WWE, done it all. Why not? Why not? Why not have the Mystery Machine itself become an actual Transformer? I think it would be great to see. I feel like it could be some version of Nightbeat, you know, detective and all, just throwing it out there. Obviously, it wouldn't be the Nightbeat that we all know and love. But you know, you got the blue there and stuff. Trade out the yellow for the green. Make him a van instead of a car. Just saying, it's workable. The Mystery Machine takes the number 5 slot. Now that we're hitting the upper echelon, we're getting the most significant entries on the list. And this one might not be the crossover that we necessarily want, but it could be the crossover we need. That's right, it's the Batmobile. Now, to be fair, I put all versions of the Batmobile that were voted for together. And there were some votes for the 66, there were some votes for the 89, and there were some votes for the Tumbler, for example. I don't think fans would so much care. They would probably be like, oh, I wish it was this version of the Batmobile or that version of the Batmobile. But I think it would be cool to have almost really any version of the Batmobile. By the way, the Batwing also had a couple of versions. I feel like G-Axis could maybe be used for that. I don't know. In terms of a Batmobile, I don't know, something that's a big, armored, fast car. I really have no idea what could be used as a base for it. But you know what? Why not? Why not? I know third party have sort of tackled the idea of a Batman crossover. I think it was MMC that did it. Why not do a Batman crossover? Why not do a Batmobile? I feel like, though, it should be some black version of it, you know? Let's keep it creepy, man. Let's keep it gothic. Let's keep it Batman. Top three. And I gotta say, I pity the fool that don't like number 3. Yes, the A-Team van. It's B.A. Baracus' van, right? Interestingly, there was a couple of votes that came in that itemized molds and alt modes that could be used for each of the characters. Like the van could be B.A. himself. You could use some version of, say, Trax. Again, remold a lot of it, and that could be Face. You could use Spinister, and that could be Murdoch. I can't remember what one was suggested for Hannibal, to be honest with you. But, like, I get it. By and far from them all, though, the A-Team van is the one that got the votes. I don't know if it should necessarily turn into Mr. T or turn into B.A. Baracus, but it should definitely turn in, you know, to something, right? And I feel like whatever it turns into, whatever the robot would be, should be well armed, because it goes absolutely with those mercenaries that you can hire if you can find them. A-Team van took easily the number 3 slot. At number 2, there were plenty of suggestions for this one, including a Combiner Wars mold, a Spinister mold, and a Skyhammer mold. All of them could have an argument for this. That's right, one of the classic 80s vehicles, that being Airwolf. It is the souped up helicopter. Funny enough, I was more a fan when they got rid of kind of like the first crew and they brought in like Sinjin and Hawk and stuff. I like the later episodes better, but you know what, like whatever. Airwolf, I mean, that helicopter is radical. Yeah, I used the word radical. I think I still have some Ninja Turtles on the brain. But yeah, I totally get it. Why not? We've had some awesome helicopter molds. And even though any of the molds that I previously mentioned would probably need some remolding to really be Airwolf, the potential is there. It could be something really special. It could be something really cool. Airwolf took the number 2 slot. And here we are at number one. And I'm going to tell you now, number one by far one. As a matter of fact, it is one of the strongest number ones that we've ever had, with a couple of hundred votes just for this. Now, while some of it was for the franchise as a whole, 90% of the votes were specifically for this. Yeah, man, Kit, come on! How could you not want Kit? Now, the funny thing is, a couple of people that voted for Kit said he should turn into Michael Knight, and then there was this big debate, and people were like, no, have Kit just turn into Kit. And then somebody said, Kit should turn into Mr. Feeney from Boy Meets World, which I thought was absolutely hilarious. Yeah, you know what, Kit, I get it. Now, to be fair, some people just said Knight Rider, and I said, well, what vehicle? And they said all of it. Do a multi-pack with Kit, Car, Goliath, and the flag semi-truck. I'm like, wow, that would be a heck of a like collector pack. And of course they said it would fit, of course, where Peter Cullen was the voice of Car. At least do Kit and Car. I think that'd be such a cool idea. Some people said the Car should turn into Optimus Prime. No, Car was a bad guy, but maybe Car could turn into Nemesis Prime or Shattered Glass Optimus Prime. So many options. Oh, by the way, a couple of the votes that came in were also for the, I don't know what it's called now, like the souped up version. Remember when Kid ended up having the parts that came out and they were green and he could go extra fast? Hyper version? I don't know what it's called now. And then the red could come out and stop. Yeah, yes, I totally agree with you, 100%. I think Kit deserved to be number one. I agree with the fans. I agree with the votes. Knight Rider, make it happen. And there you go, man. We've gone from 10 down to 1 once again. Tons of great franchises. We also had votes come in for so many Mad Max vehicles, like the Falcon, for example. I'll get some of them as we go. Dr. Claw's vehicle from Inspector Gadget. The Gadget Mobile had a couple of votes. What else do we have? Automan. I don't know what Automan is. I've never heard of that. The TARDIS. I thought the TARDIS was a cool one. A Dalek. Of course, in the comics there was a Dalek, right? Oculus. I can't remember his name now. He's a Decepticon that turns into a Dalek. They should have just made him. It's in fiction, right? Shockwave as a My Little Pony. I thought that was a weird vote. Land Speeder, but I think that might have been done already when Star Wars was done. A Technodrome from the Ninja Turtles. I thought that was a really cool idea. The Coyote from Hardcastle and McCormick. I've never heard of a Coyote. I don't know what Hardcastle and McCormick is. The Highwayman semi. I don't know what the Highwayman is, but I did see a picture of the semi. That thing looked radical. The Pork Chop Express. Street Hawk. Use the Prime RC mold from Legacy. Make a Street Hawk out of it. Magnum PI's Ferrari. Herbie the Love Bug. The Batwing I already said. Mr. Bean's car. I thought that was a funny one. What else do we have here? The Mad Max Special Pursuit Interceptor. The Matrix. I'm not sure what you would really do with that. Muppet Babies. Just do the Muppet Babies as Transformers. Why not? Spaceballs. The Maid. Why not? Why not do the Spaceballs? Do the space Winnebago thing. The space camper thing. What else do we have here? The Orville had some votes. The Planet Express from Futurama. Firefly Serenity had some votes. What else? The Fall Guys truck. Turbo Teen. Yes, man. That would be so cool. A Death Star. And I said, we already have a Death Star, but a couple of voters said, yeah, but like a HasLab Death Star, a gigantic Death Star. I guess if you want the SS Flag from G.I. Joe, that would have to be gigantic as well. The Flintstones Flintmobile, I guess we'll call it. The Happy Toys truck from Maximum Overdrive. The War Rig from Mad Max. Crossovers with Gundam. Crossovers with Guardians of the Galaxy. And for one more, let's throw in Let's throw in two more. Let's throw in the Shield Harrier helicopter flying base, the helicarrier thing, and let's throw in Christine. Had no idea what it was. Don't know what franchise it's from, but I did see the car and it looks pretty cool. It could certainly be a Transformer. That and even more franchises. So many classic cars. Here's the thing. I'm not a huge collaboratives crossover guy. I'm really not. But obviously the fans are, because we had over 1,400 votes this time. It was bonkers to count it up. I guess a lot of fans want to see a lot of their favorite vehicles as the bots we know and love. Let me know if your favorites made the list. I appreciate you guys coming by, giving me some of your extremely valuable time. I do know how important it is to you. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. You can check us out on Patreon. You can see what we have to offer to you through Spring, or of course you can hit the join button right here on YouTube and become a channel member. Don't forget to also hit the subscribe button. Stick around, have some fun with us here on the channel. Especially don't forget that somehow, someway, each and every single solitary day, you right there, you do make a difference. And I look forward to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either in the live streams on Thursday nights, at the stop motion premieres, with the old fashioned way, right here inside the videos.